Diego Sanchez has officially cut ties with Joshua Fabia. According to MMAfighting.com, UFC Hall of Famer Diego Sanchez is no longer working with Joshua Fabia as a manager, coach, and guru. Sanchez declined further comment on the situation, saying he would make a statement next week and needed to gather his thoughts before speaking to the media. Sanchez's attorney, Charles Oliveira, said the decision to leave Fabia was made on Thursday. He added Sanchez had withdrawn his business ties to the coach. Any power of attorney that Fabia had has been rescinded and terminated. Diego did release a statement to his OnlyFans. He said this: "Sometimes you have to look hard in the mirror to see yourself clearly. I had a lot of hard truths I have had to look at." Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looked like the Joshua Fabia era is over. Good for Diego for finally seeing the light. The next story comes from Luke Rockhold, who says Chris Weidman's feminine shins is what led to his leg break against Uriah Hall a couple weeks back. Speaking to Helen Yee, Rockhold also goes on to say who he wants to fight in his return to middleweight. Here's who he called out.
Mr. Weidman, he broke his leg. It was pretty gruesome over there. You got any words of encouragement for him on his road to recovery?
I wish him all the best. That's a tough one. I don't know what it's like to have, those little feminine shins. I don't know, because I broke mine first kick of the fight, but somehow it didn't break. It just stood strong.
Which fighter would get you excited in that middleweight division?
I mean, there's a lot of guys, but none of them want to sign the contract. Everyone wants to run around. So I don't know. I mean, there's guys that make sense. It's like Uriah Hall was an option. He didn't want that. Kevin Holland was an option. Doesn't seem like that was an option. I know Till was thrown around. I think people jumped on that one. I'm not opposed to anyone. Costa, anybody. In that range, the Italian kid jumped, beat Kevin Holland and he got a title fight. I just don't understand that. He beat a guy coming off a loss. A lot of these guys need to be proven, need to be tested. And I'm pretty sure I came off a world title fight. I've been inactive, but I needed the time off, but there was also injuries and everything I had to, assess and had to take care of. So it's not exactly my choice. But the time off has suited me well. I've healed all my issues, and I'm ready to go. I just need a fight, an opponent, and not a contract.
The next story comes from Edson Barboza, who defeated Shane Burgos at UFC 262. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Barboza says he feels he deserves a top 5 featherweight opponent next, naming Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez, Korean Zombie, and Calvin Kattar as possible opponents. Here's what he said.
So for you, what makes sense next? Have you thought about that yet? When do you want to return and against who?
I want to return August, end August. Yeah, I need just recover my feet. Only my feet get hurt, but thank God I'm still healthy. Yeah, I want to fight top 5, man. I think I really deserve a top 5. I beat Dan Ige, he's a top 10. Right now, Burgos he's top 10. And I really deserve the top 5 guy, especially because the top 5 guys, you see, all those guys really good, very, very tough. And I know if I have opportunity to fight those guys, it's gonna be a big show again. It's good for the promote, good for UFC. It's gonna be a big war. Imagine if fight me against Qatar. It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah.
Me against Zumbi Korea. It's gonna be crazy. Me against Holloway.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Pantera, I forget his name.
Yair Rodriguez.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Bro, it's gonna be a crazy fight. I know it's gonna be a good fight. Any one of those, the top 5, is gonna be perfect for me. Especially because I really believe I deserve it. Because I have opportunity to fight everybody 155. I fought everybody, I never picked somebody. I never asked to fight somebody. Bro, I really deserve. Bro, I have 10 years in UFC. Come on. I really deserve the top 5.
The next story comes from Beneil Dariush, who says that Charles Oliveira owes him a fight. Speaking to Brett Okamoto, Dariush reveals that he has a history with Oliveira in the past. They were scheduled to fight multiple times. Here's what he said.
There is a history between you and Charles that I think some people are unaware of. What is the history between you and Charles Oliveira?
That's what I'm talking about. Somebody finally talks about it. Listen, we were supposed to fight. He says he has personal problems. I believe he said family problems. I said, okay, I understand. Family for me, family comes first. Go take care of your family. I'll wait. But while he said this, he started calling Tony out. And our fight was scratched. And a few months later, he got scheduled to fight Tony. He fights Tony. He beats Tony, #1 contender, ends up fighting for the belt. And now he's champion. Listen, I get it. It made more sense. He's the champion now. I'm not knocking him for it. But listen, Charles, young man, you owe me a fight. Let's do this.
And then you guys were even talking about fighting in December when he fought Tony Ferguson, correct?
Because I took the fight short notice to fight him. I had just fought Scott. I came off the win from Scott. And on that Sunday, Sean Shelby messages me. He's like, hey, there's an opportunity for you to fight Charles. I said, okay, I guess I'm fighting Charles. No, I mean, I've been wanting this for a while. You know, it fell through. So, you know, I trained for 2-3 weeks. I was supposed to be on vacation. I was supposed to be spending that time with my wife, but instead I jumped into a really hard camp. I was studying him. I was sparring right away, right after a fight, like, because I really wanted that opportunity, and it wasn't there. He took off, and he never rescheduled it with me. So I really think he owes me a fight.
The next story comes from Rob Font, who fights this weekend against Cody Garbrandt in the main event. Speaking at Media Day, Rob Font describes Garbrandt as a dangerous fighter. Here's what he said about the fight against Cody Garbrandt.
Do you still value him as a dangerous opponent?
100%. You know, 100%. You saw what he did at Sansao, man. That was pretty cool, man. Like, yeah. He's dangerous. He's had the belt, so he's tasted it. And, you know, like, I'm pretty sure he's dying to get that back, and but so am I. I'm dying to just fight, and then obviously get into that talk about fighting for the title as well.
Do you go in there thinking like, okay, this might be a firefight, or do you go in there thinking, you know, hey, we got to be smart, we got to be tactical, because, you know, I could see both ways playing out.
Yeah, you know, like on paper, plan on not getting into a firefight, but you never know. Obviously, I want to be smart. I want to be real strategic and let the finish happen. But yeah, you know, things happen though. You know, you just never know.
You touched on kind of what would come next, and obviously this is a stacked division right now, but what do you think you would deserve? You know,
I obviously would love the title shot. I definitely think, you know, we got to see how the Corey Sandhagen TJ plays out. Technically, TJ didn't lose the belt, right? Corey's on fire. I think he's probably the most dangerous guy in the division. So, you know, I would see how that plays out. But again, I'll be patient. I'll see how that plays out. I definitely don't want to fight backwards, so we'll see. I'm focused on Cody because, again, this guy's dangerous, and I'm not looking past him at all, and I'm taking this guy very seriously.
The next story comes from Daniel Cormier, who says that Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor is a #1 contender fight. Speaking on the DC and Helwani show, Cormier says both fighters make sense for Charles Oliveira. It just depends on who wins their fight at UFC 264. Here's what he said.
It seems as though it would be, right? Like, there are just certain things that happen for a certain reason. If Dustin Poirier wins, that's easy, right? He deserves it. He lost to Khabib, and since he lost to Khabib, he's beaten Conor. He beat Dan Hooker. He's won. He would have won 3 in a row as the guy that seems to be the uncrowned champion in this weight class before. Put him in the title fight. Conor McGregor, the rules are different for Conor McGregor. Now, if he beats Dustin Poirier, Conor will only be 2-2 in his last 4 fights. But what does it matter, right? He's Conor McGregor. Why not put him in the championship fight? I feel like this is a #1 contenders fight. And honestly, if you look down the line, not only is it good for the right now, it's good for the future. Because I truly believe, and I'm telling you, man, I believe this with every part of me. I believe that Islam is just, it's his destiny to be in the championship picture. And I think it's an eventuality. And could you imagine if Conor can find a way to get to the belt and Islam is making his way to a championship belt with all the history and everything? It'll be fantastic. I just think that every fight is going to be good in the lightweight division, but I just think the storylines, the things that we all live for, are starting to play themselves in a way that they're going to be real fun.
That about wraps up the video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, but either way, have a great day and peace.